Hello, my name is Tim, my company is Sports and Touring, and we are Jaguar F-Type specialists. As specialists, it is a real privilege to show you this car. Why? Well, leaving aside the ultra exotic, the hyper rare, the incredibly costly and massively impractical Project 7, this is peak F-Type. It is, of course, an SVR, the most powerful, the fastest, the best sorted from a driving perspective of the F-Type breed. And in particular presented here in stunningly good Yulong White or Glacier White pearlescent paint with an amazing options list and in truly breathtakingly good condition. Let's take a look around. There is the SVR badge, and the words, the tiny type around the circumference of that badge says Special Vehicle Operations, which is Jaguar's department dedicated in some secrecy, I have to say, to developing their best vehicles to make them even better, to take high performance cars and turn them into ultra performance cars. And this is no mere badging exercise. Look at the cooling arrangements around the 5-litre V8 in this SVR, the larger bonnet grills, the shark gill side vents. Look at the rear spoiler, which creates the additional downforce to maintain stability at the incredible speeds this car can achieve. And you see, not only has this vehicle been badged by SVR, but it's been worked over by them as the SVR design has to achieve optimization. The SVR is a truly thrilling drive and a beautiful thing to look at. And then this particular example in arguably one of the best color combinations, certainly one of my favorite color combinations for an F-Type. White with black panoramic roof, creating that beautiful punctuation mark of the A to B pillar, and sitting on the SVR technical grey wheels. It's a very visually appealing thing, and the condition this car is in is stunning too. It's been looked after diligently. The mileage and service records show that, and it has been an occasional pleasure. It's been somebody's pride and joy, not a daily driver. Everything about it, from the paint through to the perfect wheels, which we have actually just factory refurbished with a full acid bath and powder coating process. They are looking sensational. It's sitting on excellent Continental tyres, and inside and out, it's a credit to its previous owners. On that note, let's take a look inside. The car's supplied, of course, with 2 remote key fobs and the owner's book pack, but among the options on this car is keyless entry, so the little button there enables us just to press, unlock the car, see the power fold mirrors deploy, and then take a look inside this sumptuous cockpit. And we see that everything is in fabulous order. Starting with the door card, where we see the beautiful jet with white stitching, that beautiful contrast double stitching that runs throughout the cockpit, and the gorgeous diamond pattern perforated leather, which not only looks sensational but enables the heated and cooled seats to work so well. It's all in fabulous order. Look at the scuff plate. Hardly a mark anywhere. Truly a car in great condition. Let's sit down into the F-Type cockpit, and there's the reminder, the SVR logo, both on the instrument binnacle and on the infotainment screen. It's a place full of technology, of course. It's a high-performance environment, but it's also a very beautiful environment. This suede cloth, which is used for the SVR interior, looks and feels sensational. And again, the stitching and the black leather just looks wonderful. Taking a tour around, we can observe the beautiful SVR logo embossed into the headrests, These are, of course, the facelift performance seats. There's a handy stowage there under the netting, and then in the centre console we have a cubbyhole with a 12-volt supply, place for the SIM card, HDMI socket and 2 USB sockets. Moving on, there's the twin cup holder, and in the middle there, space for one of those small drink cans that you see so often these days. And then to tour the rest of the cockpit, let's start up this supercharged V8 power plant. Doing that, of course, with the start-stop button there. And as we start it, we'll see the instrument binnacle do its self-test flying display. The steering wheel moves down into the driving position, and the centre air vent moves up into its position. And coming back here to the centre console, we can see we've got buttons for the eco stop start, for the spoiler, which is raised and angled into the airflow at high speed. We can also raise it using the button there. It is in the up position at the moment, so I can lower it simply by pressing and holding. We've got the traction control off button, and I can tell you an SVR with the traction control disabled is a very exciting thing indeed. The switchable active sports exhaust there, of course, which improves the exhaust note by opening valves at the back of the exhaust system. We've got an electronic parking brake with hill start assist. And here the driving mode selector, where we go from normal mode into dynamic mode. That's confirmed on the instrument binnacle by the words dynamic mode confirmed, and the binnacle turns red to its backlighting. And now the car is set up. The throttle, the gear shift mapping, the suspension is all activated into a dynamic mode, which tightens the car up and improves its performance and handling. Conversely, we can go from dynamic through to normal mode and then into rain, ice and snow mode. And in this four-wheel drive, very powerful car with wide tyres, this really calms things down if you're driving in slippery conditions on very wet roads or icy roads or muddy roads indeed. It's not an ornamental thing, it is a meaningful driving tool which I use all the time if I'm in challenging conditions on the road and the grip is diminished. We'll go back into normal mode and take a look at the gear shift stick. It's a beautiful piece of design, the park button on the top, a trigger on the front so that we can move it into drive, and from drive we go crossways into sport, like so. In sport we can shift up and down using the shift stick. We've always, of course, got the flappy paddles here on the steering column so that on the steering wheel so that we can shift gear without taking hands off the wheel. Very important to maintain control at all times in a powerful car like this, and those paddles help with that enormously. Back over to the centre console, we'll put the gear selector back into drive and take a look at the climate controls. You can see immediately we've got independent dual zone climate control there, so you and your passenger can select the temperatures that you prefer. And we've also got the electrically heated front windscreen, a real boon in cold weather when the windshield is either iced up or misty. That electric heating heats it up and clears it in next to no time. Looking then at the infotainment screen, we've got the SVR logo there again, and pressing to go to the home screen we can see we have the music source. At the moment we're listening to DAB music, but we can select either radio, online media, Bluetooth music from the iPhone or music from the built-in media library. Back to the home screen, there is the Bluetooth telephony screen which enables us to make and receive calls. We've got the climate settings, of course, there where you can direct the airflow and synchronize the two temperatures if you wish to. And back to the home screen to see the satellite navigation page. Of course, the new owner will sign in to the account once that's all organised with Jaguar, once the new V5 is in your hand, and then you'll have all the full features available. But even without signing in, it's a great sat-nav. It's very easy to use, it's very fully functioned, it's incredibly clear in its presentation. I do love the clarity of the screen on the F-Type sat-nav in particular. Back to the home screen, and from here we can actually go left to the configured home screen for the owner, and we've put some shortcuts here so you can see that you can set up the things that you'd like on your own home screen. So you can go, for example, straight to audio settings. We've got a clock, we can go straight to cameras and so on, and it may be that you prefer to set up this screen and have this available to you all the time. Back through the main home screen, and we see that we have in-control apps available and valet mode in this car as well, and a further click right takes us to ambient lighting, so we can change the colour of the lighting in this particular car by selecting on the screen there. And if we go back, we'll see we also have dynamic eye. Now this is a function which is only available in dynamic mode, so we'll select that mode on the driving mode selector and then see that we can set up my setup or use the factory setup, and we can adjust and, for example, have the suspension in comfort mode but dynamic steering, engine and gear shift. And also from this page we access the stopwatch, the G meter and the pedal sensor, which shows us, at the moment I'm holding the brake pedal of course because we're in drive, and we can also see a graphical representation of the pedal position in the car for the last 2 minutes. Very, very fully featured then, and especially optimized for the SVR for performance driving. We'll go back to the home screen and come back into park mode and take a look at the steering column. So here on the left hand side under your left thumb we've got the menu for the infotainment, Bluetooth telephony button. Over here on the left stalk we've got the automatic headlamps. On the right side of the steering column, heated steering wheel switch. Again, such a brilliant thing to have in the winter. Your hands warm up so fast on a heated steering wheel. And the cruise control with speed limiter. And on the right hand stalk there, the rain sensitive wipers. And over on the door, to point out, we have the full multi-way memory seat package in this car, so that you and 2 other drivers can have the steering column, the seat set up exactly as you'd like them when you enter the vehicle. Very, very full of technology then, but also full of beautiful artistry, and of course in just such stunningly good condition. Everything around the cockpit is in fabulous order. And above us, I should mention, this beautiful panoramic sunroof. It's an enormous area of glass which lets the light flood in. It really sometimes feels almost like you're driving a soft top, and if the light gets too much on a hot sunny day, just slide the screen across and that blocks the light and heat out of the cockpit. We'll switch the engine off and take a look in the boot. Another optional extra on this F-Type is the powered tailgate. So a press on the button, the tailgate rises up and reveals the boot, which for a sports coupe is surprisingly large. 310 litres. It extends out behind the rear wheel arches so that if you've got fishing tackle or golf clubs to carry with you, there is sufficient room to get that across the back of the car. And it's in great condition. I always remark, of course, it's a slightly unusual shape, so you do need to pack soft-sided bags rather than hard-sided suitcases. But so long as you do that, if you were to decide to go touring for several weeks, as friends of mine with an SVR have, you'd get what you need into this car without any difficulty. We'll bring the tailgate down again once more with a button push, and I'll just remark how good looking the rear end of the SVR is. Those big haunches over the rear wheels, that stunning spoiler which not only produces effective downforce but looks sensational too, and these beautiful quad exhaust pipes with the SVR logo embossed on the top of them. We can come round now and have a look at the passenger side of the car, and again everything is in stunning order. The door card is absolutely perfect. The scuff plate is, I dare say, pretty much as it left the factory. And the rest of the cockpit on this side, the dashboard, carpet and mat, and this beautiful performance seat with that lozenge perforated leather is in stunningly good order. A genuine credit to the previous owners of this car. So there under the bonnet is the supercharger sitting on top of the 5-litre V8 power plant, which takes this F-Type SVR from 0 to 60 in just 3.7 thrilling seconds. And if you wish to explore the top speed and you can hold your foot to the floor until the speed stops increasing, it will do that at an electronically limited 200 miles per hour. Truly supercar stuff. And yet, two other things about the F-Type. First is it's an incredibly easy car to live with. It's a car which gets positive reactions where it goes, not the kinds of reactions you might associate with some expensive car brands. And second, despite all the technology, despite those very impressive numbers, this is a car which is about sitting here, in the driver's seat. It's about the connection that you feel between you as the driver, through your car, to the road and to your journey on it. And that is a very passionate experience in an F-Type. It's a car which fills the heart as much as it fills the mind. And again, this example, I must point out, is just in such great order. It's got fabulous main dealer service history. Everything about it is correct. It's flown through our inspections without issue, and it is ready and waiting to delight and thrill its next owner. So thank you very much indeed for watching. It's been a great pleasure to show you this beautiful F-Type. We are Sports and Touring. We're just outside Andover in Hampshire, open 7 days a week by appointment only. You're very welcome to telephone, email or WhatsApp us with any inquiries, or if you'd like to come and see this car either in person or possibly see it by a video call. We can send you a link to the Google Drive. That's an online folder where we keep higher resolution photographs which you can zoom in on and PDF copies of important documents. If you've got a car to dispose of, we'll give you frank and honest advice about the best way to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. And if you'd like to chat about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA, and we work with a really great broker. I do hope you'll take a few moments to read our reviews in Auto Trader. It's been a great pleasure to read what our previous customers have said about us. And I'll close by saying thanks again. We do hope to hear from you very soon. And if you've enjoyed watching this video and you want to see more of our F-Types in particular, do please like and subscribe to us here on YouTube.